Hi, my name is Theo, and I help young men build their dream physiques by using weightlifting. So, when I originally started lifting, I didn't really know who online to listen to, what fitness influencer I should listen to in order to structure my workouts. I didn't really know what exercises I should be doing to build my muscles, and I didn't really know, uh, generally just what direction to go to in terms of just getting big, just trying to get jacked, basically. So if you sound like that kind of person, you're in the right place because in this video, I'm going to share the top 5 common mistakes people often make when they start lifting. Also, if you're interested in my one-to-one coaching for building your dream physique, the link for that is in the description. Moving on, um, probably the fastest way to kill your gains and to make sure you don't really grow muscle despite having an exercise that targets it is having bad form. So that's number one, is having bad form. So what having bad form does is that basically it, well, for example, if I have bad form using T-bar rows, I'm going to be maybe arching my back while I'm doing them, which is bad because that's going to be targeting kind of like my lower back, and it's going to be putting a lot of strain on it, and it's going to give me awkward posture, and I'll probably hurt myself doing it if I use a heavy enough weight, or if I have bad form using bench press, I might tear a rotator cuff. I might, like seriously hurt myself if I try and bounce the weight. If I try and bounce the weight off my chest, for example. So yeah, that's number one, bad form. Now you might be saying that, well, maybe if I lift with a bad form, then it'll help me lift heavier weights. That's kind of sacrificing your overall, I guess, health and ability to actually lift weights in order to just lift a heavier weight once. Because, again, go look up power lifter bench press injury on YouTube. You know, those guys, they have bad form once while trying to bench 600 pounds and they never really recover from it. So, yeah, just using good form will help you target muscles efficiently. It's going to help you recover from your workouts a lot faster, and yeah, it'll probably just make your whole fitness journey a whole lot more sustainable in the long run. So let's say you have a pretty decent workout routine. Let's say you listen to all of the online fitness advice, and you build a significant amount of muscle within a year, but you completely neglect your upper chest. And that makes your physique look awkward, it makes your physique look kind of small. If we took that version of you and we looked at you from the side, we notice that your chest just kind of like dips down, and then it doesn't really like curve up as well as you would see in any kind of a bodybuilder, right? So your chest doesn't really look aesthetic because of that. It just looks kind of flat, despite the rest of you being much more developed, right? So I kind of have that where I completely neglected the muscle group of the upper chest because I was doing flat bench press instead of incline bench. So that's mistake number two, is basically neglecting key muscle groups. So you can see it right here. If I turn to the camera, flex my chest, there's not really a lot of curve up here, right? It just kind of sags down. So that's not very aesthetic, and it's because, again, I neglected to do incline bench press. So yeah, that's definitely one of the key exercises to consider if you're starting lifting, but that's a different point. Now, you may be saying that your one body part is bigger compared to the other. So maybe my arms are bigger than, say, my chest. So I'm going to do less frequent, less sets, less reps for arm day because I need to build my other body parts further, so everything is going to be in proportion to each other. Say after a certain amount of time, then everything's going to kind of balance out. So my reply to that would be, you're probably pretty small right now. You know, if you're just a beginner and you think your arms are more muscular than your chest, your arms aren't even that muscular at all. So just work all the body parts, absolutely just hammer away at them for, say, a year, 2 years, 3 years. And once you build a really good amount of size, then you can worry about isolation, basically. So what isolation is just you're really focusing on building one muscle group over the others. So, but that's something that you can worry about, say, yeah, after you've been lifting for quite a while. Another obvious thing that you should not do before you start the gym is do this little thing called procrastination. Now, this is a classic. In all areas of life, people like to procrastinate on stuff. It's better you just don't procrastinate at all when it comes to the gym. The sooner you start, the better, right? Because life is quite unpredictable, and you might not always have a gym to go to or money to buy a gym membership with. So if you start today and you start making significant gains, then you're all the better for it, basically. Also, you have nothing to lose by building a habit of working out. Now, that's something that's very valuable. It's actually learning how to hit the gym consistently without, just wimping out or staying in bed or just skipping it altogether. So I will make another video on that. You can go and find the link to that in the description, or maybe I'll add a little notification thing up here. But yeah, moving on. Maybe you're saying you don't have time, or just some other kind of excuse for the gym. Maybe you have to do this thing or that thing. Maybe you have to lose fat before you go and build muscle in the gym. What I'm going to say to that is you either have time for going to the gym or you make time, right? Maybe you have to subtract other habits in order to start going to the gym. Maybe you have to sacrifice playing video games for a couple hours a day in order to go for the gym for an hour, right? So that's something to keep in mind. If you want to go to the gym bad enough starting today, you probably will. Now, another mistake a lot of people make is overdoing it early on in their lifting career. So there's this thing called junk volume, which is where you basically do more sets, you do more exercise basically, than is necessary for you to build a certain amount of muscle in a workout. So let's say I'm a beginner and I go to the gym and I absolutely annihilate my chest on the first day, and I do, say, 10 sets of bench press. Just 10 all out, balls to the wall sets. If I do that, I will not want to go to the gym the next day because I'm going to remember the absolute grueling amount of pain and the insane amount of work that I had to put in the day before. And I might keep going for a couple more days, but soon enough, my willpower is going to run out and I'm just going to stop going to the gym. So what I'd suggest to counterbalance that is to basically maybe not even start going to the gym. Maybe just do like a little home workout for now, for the first couple of weeks or days until you've actually built a consistent habit. So maybe you'll do, I don't know, 5 push-ups today and 10 body weight squats and maybe 5 pull-ups and stuff like that. Maybe just start with like simple calisthenics. So body weight exercises, and then once you've done a lot of those and you've been doing them for maybe like a week or 2 weeks or a month, and you know that you can actually put in some significant work day in and day out for the gym or for exercise in general, then you can start going to the gym. I think that makes good use of this concept called progressive overload, where basically it's basically just incremental progress, right, in the gym, where let's say you don't start doing 200-pound bench press. You start by doing maybe just the bare bar, and then once you got your form down for that, once you've done a couple sets of just practicing bench press basically, then you move on to a slightly heavier weight, and then once you've mastered that, you move on to a heavier one, and a heavier one, and a heavier one. And it's basically just incremental progress, and basically it really just has never failed anyone at all because it makes logical sense. So yeah, don't overdo it early on. You might say that overdoing it in the gym is going to make you more gains in the long run. Well, it actually won't, because once you start overdoing it in the gym, believe me, you're going to hate going to the gym. You're going to hate the amount of work that you have to put in. You're going to be shocked that you hate it so much, so you're just going to stop, okay? Nobody has that insane, like superhuman amount of willpower. So yeah, just know yourself and stay within your limits, especially when you're a beginner. So the last mistake I want to go over is a poor diet. Now, a poor diet is going to affect your recovery. And if your recovery time in between gym sets is bad, the amount of muscle that you actually grow is going to be quite bad as well, regardless of how good your workouts are. So that's because most of your muscle is actually built while you are recovering from your gym session, right? So if you don't get your protein in, you don't eat good non-processed organic food, then your organs are going to suffer. So that's a whole lot of dieting advice. It's probably material for another video. But yeah, you probably know what a healthy balanced diet is if you've been in the education system. Basically, just eat single ingredient foods. Now, what these are these are basically just your vegetables, your basic meats, just nothing processed, right? Nothing that's going to stay out in the open for 5 days and still be as fresh as it was when you first bought it, right? So yeah, just eat a lot of vegetables, maybe a lot of meat, eggs, nuts, uh, just stuff like that. Stay away from protein bars. Stay away from like store-bought protein shakes or any of this stuff with weird ingredients in it. So yeah, one of your limiting beliefs may be that you can't actually afford a good diet. Maybe as you might say it, you're like poor. That's that might be a good reason, but um, if you're part of my audience, you're probably not completely broke, right? If you're, say, a young teenage kid living in the U.S., living in the West, you're not in a third world country, uh, your parents are both employed, then they probably buy you decent enough food. So maybe you can ask them to buy more organic meats. You can ask them to buy more single ingredient foods. You can ask them to buy, less processed stuff. And if you can change their mind about that, or you can start buying your own food with your own income, as you might have to do soon, then that's all the better. So I hope that works out for you as well. Now, the actionable step for this video is to go and restructure your workouts and recovery around these 5 principles. Um, I'm very confident that over time, these are going to help you make significantly more gains than if you never listened to or followed this advice. So yeah, go ahead and take these. So yeah, go ahead and incorporate these into your lifting routine and your recovery. I'm very confident that they're going to help you just as much as they did help me. So that's pretty much it for this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you like what you saw here, and go watch my other linked fitness videos. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you later.